Talking to the media today, Jurgen Klopp, the manager of Liverpool, has gone ahead to confirm to the world that Thiago Alcantara returns ahead of the Arsenal tie, but Luis Diaz is out. Virgil van Dijk has been also rumored to return into that central defense of Liverpool, and we are talking about Frank Lampard. When did Chelsea really make that decision to really bring in Frank Lampard in at Chelsea? People thought that it was an imminent decision that was made just after sacking Graham Potter, but they had made it earlier before than you guys thought of. So welcome to Rokani Media. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So lots of things are really going down into the Premier League, and you know what is going to be all about tomorrow and Sunday. You know, United is playing tomorrow against Everton at Old Trafford. Man City is playing at Southampton. Tottenham Hotspur. Let me first give you a brief of how the Premier League is going to return, then I really come in here and really give you the best that you guys deserve. Now, we're having Everton, Manchester United. Newcastle is playing about Brentford, and be real, be simple to me, guys. Chelsea is playing Wolverhampton Wanderers away. The big one, Liverpool is playing Arsenal. Tottenham Hotspur is playing Brighton. So I'm giving you those top 6, top 7 teams and how the match is going to be. But the big one is going to be between Arsenal and Chelsea. It's the highlight of the weekend that everyone is talking about. And when you look at Liverpool, they've been having a very bad run ever since they beat United by 7-0. Liverpool have not gone ahead to register a win ever since then. They are beaten by Bournemouth 1-0. They lost to Real Madrid 1-0. They are beaten by Man City, and here they come to play a side known as Arsenal. And on, was it Tuesday, they played Chelsea, and that game ended 1-1. But the big boost for them is Thiago Alcantara returning. To me, I've seen people downplay the return of Thiago Alcantara, but if you know the game of football and what Thiago does, you know he can create a moment of magic in every game. And in games like this, you'll only need moments of magic to really create what we call the difference of fine margins, because we all know that the game is going to be close, but the moment of magic that Thiago Alcantara can really create is really one of those that you wouldn't like to really see if at all you're an Arsenal fan. And if at all you're a Liverpool fan, you'd love to be seeing Thiago Alcantara making it. Now, today in the press conference, the manager of Liverpool, that is Jurgen Klopp, has come out and told us that it looks unlikely Luis Diaz will be involved on Sunday. Thiago Alcantara looks slightly different, might be a variable, and we have to check. Luis Diaz and Thiago Alcantara are in training completely normal. We have to plan that Luis Diaz will be 100% available for Leeds. So their next game they are going to play their next game they are playing after Arsenal is going to be against Leeds. So the manager is trying to let us know that it will be too early for Luis Diaz to return for the game of Arsenal, meaning that he might be available for the game of Leeds. Looking at Luis Diaz, he's one of those players that you'd love to really have in the game of Arsenal. It's going to be a very big miss because of what he gives or what he offers to Liverpool of the left attacking side of the midfield. He's fast, the intensity, you know, he can put the right back of the opponent side on tender hooks. He scores goals, he has assists, and he brings out that counter-attacking style of Liverpool, especially in the attacking prowess. And when you look at how their front three operates, looks like they're missing out on a player like Luis Diaz. But let's talk about Thiago Alcantara in particular, a player that is returning to face Arsenal. And people might not knowing how good this player is. The best part or the best offer he really gives out to Liverpool is control of the game in the midfield. You know, when you look at that midfield three of Liverpool, however much Fabinho is there, Bajetic, Dean Henderson, and very many others, no one gives you control of the ball like Thiago Alcantara. When he has the ball, he is just a player who just feels at home and ready to do everything in his reach. You know, he gets that ball, he's press resistant, and he can even drive through the midfield. He has a lot to offer for Liverpool as a number 8, than any of the players available. People are being downplaying him, but they can't. They've just forgotten that last season he was one of the best midfielders in the Premier League at Liverpool. Thiago Alcantara returning for Liverpool in the game of Arsenal. Arsenal fans have to really get a little bit of goosebumps onto their bodies because this boy is proven. He's proven and obviously expected to go ahead and really do the needful. Though I don't expect him to start. He might come off the bench, depending on the game situation, but he's a very good player that if at all you've played the game and you've known what the game of football is all about, Thiago Alcantara is just that thorn that you would like to return. If you're at all an Arsenal fan, that's it. Then let's go to Virgil van Dijk. This is James Pierce of The Athletic has confirmed to us that Virgil van Dijk is set to return to Liverpool team for Sunday's Anfield shutdown with leaders Arsenal after missing midweek stalemate at Chelsea due to illness. So Virgil van Dijk is back. Even Virgil van Dijk is back, and we are going to talk more about this game in the match preview that is going to be broadcasted around 19 hours. So keep it Rokani Media Football. But Virgil van Dijk's return is a good statement for Liverpool, though sorry about that. Though he has been a little bit shaky ever since this season started, he's no longer the Virgil van Dijk we've known, who was one of the best central defenders in the world. Even the World Cup, he looked shaky when France was beating them 4-0 into the international break of the UEFA Europa of the Euros 2024 qualifiers. Even the legends of Netherlands came out and criticized him because of his poor play at the Dutch national team. So it looks like he needs to find his form, because if at all you're facing Jesus, Bukayo Saka and Martinelli, you need to be into your best form, because what Arsenal is going to do is simple. They are going to take that ball to Liverpool's defense. And I've referred this game to that of Manchester United. If United killed off their chances they had in the first half, it would have turned into a different game altogether. But I don't see Arsenal capitulating like how United did. I think Arsenal are going to utilize their chances and they're going to keep exposing that back line of Liverpool. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. Though Liverpool really have a very big advantage at Anfield. Arsenal last beat them at Anfield in 12 years back? Is it in 2012? I think Arsenal last beat Liverpool in 2012. That means those are close to a decade plus 1 year ever since that really happened. So I see myself into a situation of really having a very hard preview to make, because it's been really hard. Let's leave that at that, and let's wait for the preview that's going to come in later. But there are talks coming in from Chelsea confirming to us that the idea of Frank Lampard returning to Chelsea was initially raised as early as the last week of February. The final whistle had hardly blown away at Spurs when the leadership team began talking about the potential need of a drastic measures. Now, that means Tony Boyle and Egbeli, the co-owner of Chelsea, came in through and really made a decision of sacking Graham Potter way back in February when they lost to Spurs. But they found themselves in a situation of really winning a little bit of games, but it went from bad to worse, and obviously a decision had to be made to let him go. So they knew that it was hard to convince a very proven manager to come in at Chelsea towards the end of this season, because it would come with a lot of pressure. Now, they knew that they needed a caretaker, and obviously the interim manager brought into the field of play is Frank Lampard to play a very big part into the remaining 10 games or 10 fixtures of Chelsea. And Frank Lampard is being looked at one of those managers that is into a spell of reviving his career, and we all know how hard it is for him to really get it back, because he got it wrong at Everton. At Chelsea, he had gotten it wrong before Abramovich sacked him, and God has given him another chance to really revive himself and his career, because there are very many jobs out there that he can get if at all he gets it right at Chelsea. If at all he coaches close to 10 games at Chelsea and wins like 6 out of those, because I don't see him beating Man City. I don't see him beating Manchester United. I don't see him beating Arsenal. So if at all he can go ahead and win the 6 or 7 games and lose the 3, that will be a very good run made by Frank Lampard. And there is one in the Champions League against Real Madrid. He can force his side through because quality is there. If he can have Kovacic, N'Golo Kante, and Enzo Fernandez in the midfield 3, and obviously they face a side called Real Madrid, and they can knock it out because the quality is there, then he would have given himself a very good chance to find himself in a position of getting back to the coaching levels for teams that are below the top 6 or 7. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Thiago Alcantara returning ahead of Arsenal tie with Virgil van Dijk, and then what are your thoughts about Chelsea having considered to sack Graham Potter in the last week of February, and Frank Lampard was being looked at as the interim manager to come in and get the job done. Thank you guys for watching it through. That was our first video. In the next 1 hour, we are returning with what we call the so much awaited team news coming in from Mikel Arteta, because the press conference of Mikel Arteta, I think, will be done and be back here. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ that was poured today when he was crucified. To my Muslim friends and viewers and subscribers, Ramadan Kareem.